But if you always going through some shit always happening.
Y'all listen to me, okay? This is one of the best lessons you will ever learn when it comes to governing yourself in your life and being very strategic and methodical and savvy about who you spend significant time with and who you choose to have in your life. This is actually a big rule of thumb for me when it comes to especially partnership for me, because I am an empathetic person. So sometimes I can take on certain traits of people. So I have to be very vigilant about who I'm around and what traits I'm taking on. Like I can, really deeply feel what people are feeling and, in kind of a way like I'm experiencing the feelings that they're experiencing. So for that reason, and for my own financial protection, my own mental, spiritual protection, this is a big rule of thumb for me when I know it's time to relinquish a relationship, a friendship, any kind of relationship. Whenever somebody is always down on their luck, they're always struggling, they always going through it, they always behind on bills. Every time you talk to them, something bad is going on. Get away from them now, especially if it's a romantic relationship. Go ahead and get rid of the guilt of feeling the need to wanting to help them, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a waste of time. A lot of people who are struggling for years on end, right? Those are a lot of the times it probably stems from things that come from childhood. But if you're an adult, especially if you're over the age of 30, it's time out. Figure your shit out so that you can get it together. A lot of these people are addicted to the stimulation of struggling, right? They're addicted to the stimulation of living life on the edge. Stability makes them uncomfortable. It's boring to their nervous system because they are in a cycle. And I don't want you to be so arrogant as to think you have the power to bring them out of their cycle. It's more likely that they will pull you down to their low vibration than your ability to pull them up to yours. So if you are with someone that is struggling financially, and I don't mean they just lost their job and it's been a couple of months or so, I mean someone who is always going through it. You've known them for years and they're always struggling with money. Unless you have plans on struggling with money too and going through it, exit stage left. Because a lot of y'all are trying to go to battle with other people's generational curses and with other people's traumas that they're not even willing to fix. The only person that can pull you out of a cycle is you. Learn, if you've been able to pull yourself out of a cycle, if you struggle with money at some point and now you have, a couple $1,000s, a few $1,000s in your savings account. I don't care if you have $500 in your savings account and you never had $500 just sitting in your savings account. That's something to be proud of. The last thing you need to do is be around somebody who is always struggling financially, because that energy is contagious. And that energy is addictive. And moreover, you're more likely to pull yourself to slip and fall back into a place that you pulled yourself out of than you are pulling them up. A lot of us really, give ourselves too much credit on how much we think we can help people when you can't. People have to want to be helped. Don't waste your time feeling bad. Don't waste your time feeling guilty. That don't mean if you see somebody struggling with something, you go ahead and leave after like a day. Be smart, be nuanced, right? But at the same time, you assess your situation. You assess your situation with that person. And most of all, okay, do not allow anyone, and I do mean anyone, to pull you down, to ruin your life, to financially ruin you, to emotionally and spiritually ruin you. It is your one job and your job alone, okay, to govern yourself, to make sure you're protecting yourself. You're your first and truly only line of defense if you want to be for real. So it's your responsibility. It's not anybody else's responsibility. So it's no need to even feel guilty and feel bad about cutting people off that will essentially ruin your life or pull you back into a space that you work hard to get out of.